So recently I made a video, my top 5 greatest physical achievements over the last 31 years of my life. So I thought it would be only fair to share with you my top 5 greatest physical fails. So pay attention, you can learn a lot from my mistakes, save yourself some time and physical agony. But you gotta focus. Number 1, we are starting with a bang, something big. The double backflip. Wait a minute, bro. I thought you landed the double backflip. Yes, I did. I landed it multiple times on the trampoline. Then this happened. After that, done. So yes, months after I landed the double backflip on the trampoline multiple times, I decided to practice it regularly. I wanted to be able to attempt it at least 20 times a day so that it would really dig into my muscle memory and I'd be able to take my trampolining to the next level. However, because I was going too fast at attempting the double backflip, not taking enough rest in between each and every double backflip attempt, I got so dizzy and disoriented that I just lost where I was completely in the air, landed right on my head on the trampoline, felt a crack throughout my entire spine, had a sore neck for an entire week. It like shifted my mind. It was just like, is this even worth it? And I haven't attempted it since. It's just like over. Well, that's it for me there. At least that's probably the worst that could happen. What I learned from this is take your time. Focus, all right? I was literally just trying the brute force approach, which worked for me on a lot of moves in the past, but there are some moves that it should be obvious, more technical moves that you need to have more focus and take more time. Because I didn't take enough rest, not enough time between attempting them, I lost it all. Big, huge fail. I'm gonna need a chiropractic adjustment after that last one. Number 2, while we are on the topic of doubles, let's talk about a movement that I don't think anyone has ever done before, but I was convinced I was gonna get. The double Airflare. Yeah, your boy was dreaming big. I thought I was gonna get this and go down in history as the best b-boy who ever lived. I'm just joking. Even if I did land this, I wouldn't even be close to the greatest b-boy ever. But I literally wanted to be the first person on earth to land this move. I'm talking about an air flare from one arm all the way around once, and then again landing on the other arm. A movement that has never been landed from my knowledge, even to this day. And now you can see how this fail spans into many fails. First of all, jumping too far ahead too fast. I couldn't even land a one-hand air flare. Well, there's a fail within a fail right there. The one-handed air flare I never landed, but I practiced so much. So many hours of my life were dedicated to getting the one-handed air flare. I was not even really ever close. Only jammed my elbow hundreds of times and then crashed probably thousands of times. I am not even kidding. Now, I think the reason I never got the one-handed air flare is because of the brute force approach. Spending too much time on the brute force approach and not working on technique, which I think I needed to swoop my left leg a little bit more and just work on the timing between planting my left arm down and swooping that left leg in order to just get that catch and then into the next air flare. Alright, number 3. Cork swing through cork. Ever since I started learning cork, all I wanted was cork, swing through cork. I mean, right after I landed my first cork, I started attempting cork, swing through cork within like a month or two. Honestly, like on the same day, I just wasn't even close. You couldn't even tell. We are like probably within days of exactly 10 years from landing my first cork. But over the course of these 10 years, I have yet to land cork, swing through cork. How sad is that? Talk about a fail. Now, I would attribute this failure to, oh my gosh, here we go, the brute force approach. And once again, not because the brute force approach is bad per se, but because I would 99.99% brute force approach and not more like, you know, 60-40, 50-50, maybe even 70-30. No, it was literally just all brute force.
Come on, baby, Cork. Swing through Cork.
Minimal technique, because like, who has time for technique, right? This is why I say you gotta focus, all right? Just like, I know this. I think from doing the brute force approach on many of these flips and learning the cork, a lot of the times my chest when I land is just is always over and down. And I think because my chest is so low on the land, it is so hard for me to swing through. There's also some other issues going on as well, probably timing, J-step problems, etc., etc. Now let's get a little more optimistic here. On the bright side, after 7 years, I finally did achieve the gainer switch. They say you lose everything after 25 years of age. They say it's just downhill, but I was 28 years old when I landed the gainer switch. Whoa! What? So at 31, maybe 32, who says I won't land? Cork swing through cork. You gotta keep the dream alive. Alright, bonus fail. Always training, never winning. So being a b-boy, a competitive breaker, obviously there would be glory in winning, no joke. And I would always dream of winning the battle, you know what I mean? But I never ever won a single battle. In fact, almost every time I never even made it past prelims. Stupid. And now when it comes to competitive b-boying or breaking, what helps win the battle is having good musicality, because the DJ is playing music and you want to like flow with the music. You also want to be more aggressive towards the opponent, and you want to have, for the most part, a good well-rounded foundation. So, you know, power moves are good, but it's also good when you couple them with, you know, footwork, top rock, so dancing, blah blah blah. My top rock, I looked like my footwork, oh gosh, and just like my transitions, so transitions between these different movements. And not only that, but just the overall package just was not there. Yes, I had, you know, some decent power moves for the state, just everything else lacking. And not only that, the way I delivered it, just nah. And that is because I always just, I think, enjoyed training more than anything else. And as much as I said, ooh, I want to win in my mind, I never really worked on the right things, and I was just a huge fail in that aspect. So that's a bonus fail. Alright, while we're on the topic of breaking, let's go to number 4.
Scratching the surface, long time is never found.
Anything to Airflare. Now you might be like, what dude, I've seen you do like flare to Airflare. I've even seen you maybe do windmill to Airflare. Yes, I've done flare to Airflare many times, but it's only off of one flare. I have really never been successful at doing multiple flares to an Airflare. But it's like, dude, with all this practice, like, why couldn't you just do continuous flares and then decide to go up to an Airflare when you wanted to? And I just really think it's because, first of all, failure to practice this and kind of giving up when it got difficult. I just wanted to feel the flying effect, and I got too comfortable with being successful off of just one flare, so I never took the time to practice that, and thus I limited myself in my combos that I could do. Now there were times where I did practice windmill to Airflare, but it was really limited to the gymnastics center, and I did end up getting it at the gymnastics center, but it was off the spring floor, and my technique and everything about it was just off. I think if I would have worked more on trying to learn this move on the ground and just spending the time to get it, I think my overall power move sets would have been a lot more powerful, a lot better, a lot more variation. It's kind of like I'm copping out, you know what I'm saying? So that's a huge fail in my books. And finally, number 5. Trying to put on too much muscle when I was learning all of these stunts.
Oh shoot. Oh.
Almost 3. Now this one might seem a little complex, but think of it like this. While I was learning these moves, breaking, flips, etc., I also had many phases that lasted months where I'm like, dude, I want to put on as much muscle as possible. Just eat, get huge. And that conflicted learning these movements. Now when I was really learning these movements, it did help to have strength, but it did also help to be a little bit more on the lighter side for myself. Trying to put on all this muscle, eating all this food, I would be on the heavier side. Now I thought to myself, listen, if I just put on muscle for this season of 4 months, you know, gain some weight, when I lose the weight over the summer, I'll be even way better at these movements. However, I don't think it worked like that now looking back at what happened. What I think happened is I ate so much food to try to put on muscle, I gained so much weight, I couldn't even really practice or make any progress with these movements when I was so heavy. If I was lucky, I was maintaining where I was at. Now when I did decide to lean out for the summer or lean out for the season, what would happen is I wouldn't necessarily get super better at any of these stunts because I would kind of be a little more tired from dieting. So it just like was never a good idea. I think what would have been a way better approach is almost do like a more gaining approach, where I could have just maintained my weight at that functional level, fluctuating, you know, pound, 2 pound, 3 pounds, not going like 10, 15 pounds and then 10, 15 pounds, you know what I mean? I think I would have been way more successful. It would have taken less time to learn these stunts, these moves. And not only that, but I think I literally would be at the same exact physical point where I am right now when it comes to muscle mass. I don't think I am more muscular because of all those weight gain, weight loss. I think that's just huge waste of time and a huge fail. So hopefully you've learned something from my mistakes. With that being said, there are plenty more fails that I've experienced over the years. So yeah, these are just my 5 bigger ones that I thought would be pretty entertaining and would have some merit when it comes to learning what I did wrong, and maybe you could take away from it what you can do or change the path of what you're doing right now so that you have more success. Let's end on a good note. We are blessed to be healthy now. We are blessed to see our mistakes, and we are blessed to continue this journey. With that being said, don't forget to subscribe, turn those notifications on. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more videos like this. Peace. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next video.